Hi there. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. It's been a number of months since I've been on here, right, with the message from Quantum. It's not that I haven't been sending them out to you all and radiating as many solutions and recommendations and suggestions as possible. Life has taken some turns this year, hasn't it? 2020. So let's cover in the last 4 months what the main theme that I was hearing from those in the quantum, spirit guides, angels, loved ones who've passed, is that starting in about July, as you remember from the August video, that we had to come to terms with some things in life where we were allowing ourselves to be used, walked on, tricked, deceived, lots of illusion at play, and lots of things coming at us, even with close loved ones or people who were pretending to be our close loved ones, along with business correspondence and etc. A lot of things were put out as fact. A lot of things were put out as this is the way it has to be. You had a lot of things coming at you with mandates and regulations and things without any law passing. So you might have noticed that you were stepping into August saying, well, hold on. I think I'm going to have to do some pivoting in my own life to decide how do I not become enslaved, shackled, locked into my everything, where I'm not free anymore to do my purpose, to live my life with my family in the way that I choose to raise my children the way that I choose to provide the kind of health care that I choose to provide for my kin, for my family, for my community. So leading then from August, there you go, September, October, November, we're in December now. What was happening during these months? A lot of reshuffling. Did you notice that you were having to cast out a lot of old stuff? Face things and square on, get really real with yourself, get real with your families, be forthright, maybe do a lot of forgiveness stuff or setting things free off of you, dumping things off and saying, I just can't do that anymore. The old normal, where many times people were saying in May, I just want to get back to the normal. I want to get, and guess what? After that, people said, maybe that old normal isn't serving at all anymore. Maybe it really isn't what I am and who I came here to be and what is my soul really here doing and being about, right? So during that chapter, those 4 months of time, I heard from many of you and those in the collective that we were bouncing a lot of things away from ourselves and just cutting ties, getting rid of things that were dense, heavy, stuff that didn't reflect who you are at all, and really coming to terms with that and accepting it, acknowledging it, getting really comfortable with this new idea that was sort of posing itself to you as like, what if you're really so much more than you thought you were? And this is not to talk about ego stuff. This is you allowing your light to be in the world as it is. What all does that mean? The full spectrum of it. Not just limiting yourself to whatever you had been told as a child that you had to be, or that you could only accomplish so much, or maybe you were told you weren't going to accomplish anything. Because this was the year for so many people, they learned that, wow, my support system is not my family, my biological family per se. Maybe I need to expand and start thinking about who is my birth family? Who am I being drawn to, right? Who's radiating the stuff, that the juice, the vitality that you want to live, and start pivoting away from all of the complaining and the degradation and the condemnation and the authoritarian kinds of dictatorship stuff that was being handed to us as, again, fact, right? So as you were doing your freeing this year, coming now into December, what are the angels talking about for going into the new year of 2021? What is the best way that we can launch ourselves in the new year? They have been clear this month of December. It is about dumping off any residue of anchors now that you've been carrying along with you. And this can be from birth. It could be from age 7, 9, those very beginning years when you had faced a lot of the conditioning and programming that you then as an adult, or maybe you're sitting here watching this age 7. I do have young viewers too that are saying, wait a minute, I'm getting stuck in some of that programming this early. They're catching it. Kids are catching it. They realize that they are free and they don't need to live under those mandates. So what are we going to do about this? So December is definitely about looking at any areas of your life right now that you still are I was about to say it in Spanish, cargando, which is like carrying around the anchors, the heavy stuff, the weighty things people told you somewhere along the way, that when they said that you couldn't do something or you'd never have enough money for it, or who did you think you were, right? How many of you had that? So in December, check in before you're just launching yourself into the new year and decide, like, where are the anchors? So is there anything left that I'm still trying to seek approval or recognition or acknowledgement or to get love somewhere where it just isn't? Because here's the thing, if you can pivot away from those arenas that do not they're not radiating like you are. They're not of your frequency. They're not less than you are. It's just a lower frequency. It's a choice. We all are choosing all the time. Where are we having our frequency states? If you are accommodating those lower frequency states and walking away and feeling really gross, or before you meet up with them, you're dreading and you have a sense of like, oh, I have to deal with this again. That's how you know. Any signals like that of dreading or walking away from something drained, where it just feels like you're exhausted, those are your signals. It's still not your frequency state. So take this last part of December 2020 for the great clean out to dump off any of that last stuff, so that when you're jumping into 2021, you are free. You're free to move. You're free to go ahead. And here's the thing. This is the sweet secret that a lot of people don't share. When it comes to dumping off those anchors, when somebody is attached to you still, or you are still attached to him or her in a way that causes resistance, they don't really want to live your life. You don't want to be living their life. You have different dreams, you have different morals, you have different ethics, you have different ways of being in the world just with your purpose. If you are still clinging to that, we are doing no good to that other person or that community, because we're just creating more resistance, more fight, more anchoring, really. It's just going to end up with being heavier and heavier anchors. You got more and more holes in your ship. So here's the thing. Decide, I have to dump that off in favor of that other person too. Because we're not here to create havoc for another person's life. If they are not ready to be living from a frequency state that you are, that doesn't mean they're in the wrong place. They're in the divine right place for themselves. But you're not doing either of you any good to hang on and grip and say, yeah, but they're family, or I've known them a long time. If you are traveling on different train tracks and you're speeding up and maybe they're hanging out here still in a vibe of whatever it happens to be, we don't do any good by trying to drag them with us or to take us back into that vibe on a regular basis just to be there because we promised that we'd be that way in some soul way. No. Every single day is your destiny. Every day you're creating your destiny. Every day as you're co-creating with others, you want to make sure that you aren't a part of more resistance in their life. What happens when people build up just resistance? They start turning away from more and more and more. They start getting paralyzed. They start just slowing down and feeling like they can't do anything. That is why it's no help to anybody if you keep trying to cling on and make it happen or make it work. How many times do you hear that? I got to make this work. If it is all that work, you know that you're not in the same frequency state again. So with that, jumping into your 2021 then, again, look around, see if you got anything extra that you need to get rid of before you go into 2021 with your purpose, your dreams. I know a lot of you have pivoted dramatically this year out of need because your brick and mortar businesses went away. Things got locked down. Okay, I'm going to tell you something else here, and this is something that's kind of shaking people to their core because I'm getting called on it. Is this going to be the last time we're locked down? Is this going to be the last time that, are we going to get reopened for good? If your gut and your intuition are pinging you like crazy, like, I think I have to open up to something different. I think I might have to really receive a different opportunity for a different stream of income completely, or add one on to what I'm doing right now until I find out. Don't wait. The angels are saying don't wait for on that, because here's the thing. Yes, the angels and spirit guides are telling me there will be more of these. We're going to open back up and then you don't, or you open up for a bit but it gets closed back down again. We're not over this yet. We're not through this chapter of this long tunnel. So instead of waiting and then having tens of thousands of people hunting for jobs, act now. If that's your gut instinct and that's your intuition, I need to start pivoting. I need to start thinking about a different stream of income. Here's the thing. I just talked to somebody recently and asked her what she was in a completely different career than she was a year ago. She went with her intuition. She went with her gut instinct and said, I really need a change. She happened to be in the restaurant industry back in Minnesota, where, as many of you Minnesotans know, things are quite different there right now. In Montana, we're open. So it just depends on where, again, you are going to take your frequency and where you're going to take your calling, where you're going to get called to do something. Consider that something that may have landed in your lap already this year, or maybe it's coming down the pike towards you that you think, I couldn't do that. There's no possible way that I don't have the skill set. I've never learned about that. Consider that if it's coming your way, it's coming your way for a reason. It just might have a bigger picture view than what you are allowing it. So be open, ask, be sure you're asking every day. If you're in a muddle, you're really in the thick of it going, I have no idea what I need to do, but I know I need to do something different. Ask, receive, The receiving is the big piece, because a lot of people will say, wait a minute, see, your angels are telling me that you've gotten like 5 different ideas coming rolling it down the pike for you this year, and did you heed that? Did you take any? No, I thought maybe I was just imagining, because I've never done any of that and I don't have a clue how to do it. Don't stop there, because they don't have a clue, don't have the skill set, or it's going to be too exhausting, or what if your job reopens and then what do? Let all that go. Open up to your unlimited nature, your unlimited opportunities, your multiple streams of income. The old world of that one stream of income, it's, according to the angels and guides, is we have to get out of that mindset, merely because of all the way that power is being used today and applied, and people getting squeezed into corners. We don't have to be squeezed into corners. We don't have to be shackled. We don't have to be locked in spaces and not have freedom. So be open. Consider completely different ideas to your life. If you need assistance in this at all, reach out to me. We can do some quantum leaping and see what else your soul, your spirit would be passionate about doing. Consider adding something on to whatever you're doing. If you're self-employed right now and you've seen a lot of your clientele go by the wayside due to the lockdowns and such, consider that maybe there's something I could add to my business right now, a different offer, a different kind of service that I can do from home, that I can still put out there, and my clients know me, and all of your people that have been connected to you, they're not going to want to ditch out on you now. So open and consider, what else could I add to what I'm doing to perhaps alleviate some of this stuff. The stress is beyond the moon right now, and the way we can alleviate it is to be open to every kind of option possible. And when somebody comes calling and says, hey, have you ever considered this? Listen to that, because your friends, your family, people who really love you are going to be trying to open up doors for you. They're going to be doing everything in their power to provide gateways for you. The ones that are not supporting you are the ones that are going to be in commiseration with you. They're going to be complaining a lot. They may be telling you, you're right, this is the worst year ever. Do you know that this year has actually launched more entrepreneurs, people that have said, in a million years did I ever think that this would be my breakout year? And why is that? If you think about that, concerning the words lockdown and locked in, what is the opposite of that? It's a breakout, right? We have to break out. And sometimes that is just breaking out within your own home into things that you are loving to do, that you're passionate about, that you can serve up, that people are waiting for, that they're excited to receive from you, because they know you again. You know, your loved ones, the people who really get you and understand your purpose and know where you're coming from, they can tell you really do care, and they are wanting to help you. They want to assist you. They're going to support you. They're not going to make it a whole bunch of list of things why you can't do something that you were really wanting to do. So set your sight free for 2021. Be open. Receive many different ideas that are coming in right now. The Earth planet right now is full of very quick things manifesting. So watch what you're thinking, watch what you're saying, because you're going to notice faster and faster and faster. We are actually speeding up the frequency of the planet right now. So with that, what that means is if you're having a thought like, oh my God, what if my cancer reoccurs? Delete it, uncreate it immediately, and say, I am so thankful that I'm healthy. I'm so grateful that I am well, that I'm strong. Delete anything where you catch the self-talk going back and saying, that would be super cool, but and the but follows, and it just erased everything in front of it. So catch all the thoughts, all the talk that you're throwing at yourself, saying you can't, in any way that you're negating yourself. Make sure you're catching it and uncreating it and deleting it as fast as you can, and zooping it back to where what you do see you want to see show up in your life. You want your desired reality. So see, most people are creating through their undesired reality, through that self-talk stuff, that everything's crashing and burning. I'm never going to get out of this mess. My loans are going upside down. I'm owing more than ever. And guess what? All that stuff that's anchor. That's going to weigh you down. That's going to create a scene inside of you feeling that there's no way out. You are imprisoned. That's the true version of imprisonment. So with this, I want to do a quick quantum leap, again, guided, so that you can have a taste of what you can do on a regular basis, because this is all stuff that you probably did as a kid you might not remember. And that is that you were in a current reality of whatever circumstances that you were in. You envisioned a different reality or something that you really desired in your life. You saw it and you felt it. And guess what? So a lot of times kids brought that stuff in within a day or two, a week, a month. merely because of what? The vibration they were radiating out for what they did desire. They weren't focused on how terrible their life was, or how terrible the circumstances were, or what kind of abuse they were in at the time. They were focused on, where do I want to be? That's our natural, innate instinct. Just like animals. We are part animal, so animals do the same. They go focused on what do they desire to live. What do they, oh, that looks good. I think I need to go get a meal there. And they head toward it. They don't sit there and go, well, I don't know if I deserve to eat today. Maybe I'll go hungry because, well, I wasn't very good to my family. They don't get hung up on that stuff. It's just pure unconditional love in action. They're activating. So let's do it. Take a deep breath and hold it as long as you can. You're coming from your current reality. You're launching yourself to your desired reality. Hold that breath as long as you can while dumping off any catches in the way, any anchors leading to this desired reality, what you desire in 2021. Okay, I just already heard people are still going, yeah, but what if it stays the same? What if we go through this thing again? What if? Dump off all the what ifs right now. Dump them off. What if this? What if that? What if this doesn't happen? What if that happens? Dump it all off. We're jumping to the desired reality. Take another deep breath if you need. Keep holding the breath as long as you can. This is the Kung Fu meditation that I've taught in my previous videos, and you're just directing that breath toward your desired reality, your desired career, your desired purpose, your desired financial income, abundance, prosperity, whole wealth, and this is health, and your mind being in good stead with you, your body feeling great. You maybe have a focus on aging backwards in 2021, because this year aged people a lot forwards in some ways. So, okay, so we got your desired reality. Did you land in this desired reality? Can you see it? Can you feel it? Are you getting some answers right now of things like, oh my gosh, I never even thought of that. That's the quantum. That's your quantum nature. That's quantum healing. That's your innate divine self giving you messages back as soon as you ask. They're always coming in. It's in this quantum field. A lot of times people can hear them easier and see them better and have the sense of that knowing that it's possible. Of course it's possible. There is no lack or limitation or resistance in the quantum. Zero, zilch. So when you're jumping and dumping all this stuff off, where is it going? It's getting returned to its source, which is light. So every time you're dumping off anything dark, heavy, gross, yucky, can't stand it, insomnia, depression, you name it, any kind of condition that has taken you to your knees, you're dumping it off and you're letting it go back to light. So we're amping up the planet every time. We're quantum leaping too. All right, let me see what else I'm hearing out from all of you. Okay, places where you felt desperation, panic, that nothing would be able to get righted from this. What if family members were going to pass? Dump all that off. Make way for what you do desire to see. You desire their health. You desire that they stay strongly in their minds and their bodies. You desire that things ease up for them. You desire that your loved ones, that maybe this year you watch some really awful things happen to loved ones. You're dumping off all of that energy that you may have even feeling of, like that grossness or that ugh. Dump that all off to make way for the light that you really want to see show up in their lives, for the love, for the compassion, for the empathy, for all the stuff that was happening across the cities. Let's dump off everything in the way of that unification of us becoming and knowing that we cannot be separated or divided unless we allow it. It is impossible to divide us as a human collective unless we allow it. So dumping off any illusion of that, oh, look at that, this is still existing, we're still hating on it. Dump it off. Dump the hatred off. Make way for the love. If there are places in this year that you had really awful experiences, right now in the quantum, send to those experiences. I did hear from people that they had, some muggings, carjackings, things like that. Just dump all of the experience off. Make way for the light and love to go back to everyone involved, because what that does is it frees up the possibility that anybody engaged in that has a different outcome now. Yes, we do quantum leap back in time. We quantum leap forward in time as well. You can change the energy around any experience by dumping off everything in the way of it to make way for the peace, the love, the compassion, the empathy. And you will see this more and more in action the more you practice it, where you're thinking, I for sure jump back in time because my relationship with this person completely changed. How did it change? You quantum leapt to the experience that was ugly. You changed the conditions and the experience around it just with pure energy sending, transmitting your love and light to the situation, the peace, the understanding, the acceptance, the acknowledgement, whatever that person was really feeling at the time when that crime was committed or that pain was incurred, and you shifted the energy around it, and all of a sudden there's a different interaction. Ooh, some people are choked up about this one. All right, so dump off any of the grief around it, the pain, the sorrow of feeling like, how come we just can't get along? Where is the peace and harmony on this planet? Yes, we can. So dump off any areas of illusion that you were fed this year that it's impossible, that certain kinds of skin tones don't get along. Dump it all off. That's hogwash. We're all born in skin. We all have hearts. And that's our connection point and our spirits. And that will never go away as long as we don't allow anything to trounce it. All right? See your desired reality. Bless this field. Ready to jump it back to your now? That's key. Bring it back to your now. Make sure you do that, because you'll leave it out in the future. You'll leave it out somewhere in space. It won't be connected to you. You want to make sure if you're going to anchor anything, anchor this quantum field existence with you. All right? Jump it back into here. Awesome. Good job, you guys. There was a whole bunch of freeing up of energy. I'm sweating right now. And take care. If you would like a guided personal quantum leap, look me up. TakeAwalkWithYourAngels.com. We'll book something right up out of the blue. And whenever you're ready, and get you set up for that, I'm at TakeAwalkWithYourAngels.com, as I said, as well as my blog with joyflames.com and social media. All right. Love you lots. This is Jeannie Blaha. Take care. Happy 2021.